Welcome back, everybody. I just got back from Hawaii. I missed out on a whole week of content. It's time to deep dive and get into what I missed. So, without further ado, let's hop on into the action. It is the Frozen Forces week, and I'm honestly loving the card art right off the rip. So, essentially, when you're looking at it, you can break it down. But Connor McDavid is going to kick us off at an 89 overall. I have him down as my number one MSP for the week. 6'1", buck 94. Even without the synergies, you're looking at gold elite edges and silver wheels. 95 excel, 95 speed. His shots in the upper 80s to low 90s. Hands are in the mid to upper 90s. Defensive stats, I can kind of throw him to the wayside because at this point, with how it's set up, I don't really care. He does have playmaking forward, making his passing up to a 99. Agility humps up to a 96. Then you can look at the agility boost if you get it. We're looking at one of the first cards to have 99 agility. This is a must-have card. I mean, there is just a big difference between the base 85 and the 89. I will go in a little bit later in this video on how to make them, but this is my number one card out of this whole set. Sam Reinhart, I have him as the number 4. 6'2", buck 93, 88 excel, 88 speed, 91 agility. His accuracy on his shots in the low to mid 90s. His powers in the upper 80s, maybe low 90s. He has sniper forward, which definitely helps that out, along with power shooting boost. And the reason why I have him at number 4 is just because of that. Like, his shot's actually really good. When you have those synergies active, it's just you need it to be active for it to kind of be a relevant card. His speed doesn't jump out at you. Agility or quickness isn't really a thing. I like the fact that he has 87 endurance and they don't short him on that. But as far as everything else goes, yeah, nothing too crazy or over the top on this card. That's why I have him in the 4 spot. Then the number 2 spot is Connor Bedard, 5'10", buck 85, 89 excel, 89 speed. But look at that shot. This is why he's the number 2. One, he has Make It Snappy on there, but if you activate his synergies, the pinpoint shooting boost along with sniper forward, we're talking 99 wrist shot accuracy. And that's only with sniper forward. You don't even need pinpoint on to get to 99. This is going to be one of the best shooter wingers in the entire game. This is a must make if you're like, hey, I can't look at making McDavid right now, which I'll explain a little bit later on. But honestly, he comes in the number 2 slot just because of that. And I like the fact that he has 96 agility as well. Like, he is going to be very quick for you, which should free up some space for you to use that shot. Then we go to Jake Ottinger. Jake Ottinger I have in the last spot, but that's just because he's a goalie. But honestly, I've kind of dabbled in wanting to make him. I'm kind of overdue. I have 85 Game Breaker Hellebuck, and I feel like he's starting to let up a lot of softies. This might be a pivot to go with. He does have 2 synergies between speed boost and defensive boost, and he has gold sponge. 6'6", 224 though. He might be the change that I need in my lineup. Cider I got in the number 3 spot, 6'4", 204. If you remember Owen Power from the last event, this kind of reminds me a lot of him, but on the right side instead of the left side. He also has gold shutdown. He has 2-way defenseman, and he has pinpoint shooting as well. His shot's nothing crazy or nothing to rave about, but I do like 6'4", 204, 89 agility, 88 speed. He's got pretty good defensive stats, not like what we were seeing from Protect the Net, but that's okay. Like, if you're looking for an upgrade, because some of you I know maybe still using Drysdale, here's your guy that can kind of replace him. Then on the left side, I got Riley. He brings up the 5 spot for me, 6'1", 225. I just feel like we're oversaturated at lefty D-men, and now I'm starting to see Victor Hedman pop up onto the screen. So, like, right now, I just don't think he's a must-make. But 6'1", 225, if you're a Maple Leafs fan, by all means, make him. I'm not telling you not to make him. I'm just saying there's nothing that really stands out to be like, I need to make him. His shots in the upper 80s, low 90s, his speed and acceleration 89, 88. His defensive stats are pretty good. I mean, in the 90s, but it's nothing like, there's nothing excellent about this card. That's why I had Cider ahead of him, just because I feel like there's a lot more on the lefty D-men rather than the other side of the house. Now, when we're going into making them, there's a lot of different ways to make them. Making McDavid's going to be expensive, but I'm going to break it down for you how I view it. And this is just kind of what I do going into every single MSP, because like when you see these sets come out, it can be a daunting task, especially if you're looking at making McDavid, because McDavid, to make him, is going to take 288. So it's going to take 2 of those MSPs to make the McDavid card. And a lot of you, like myself, may be wondering like, hey, is this worth it? Is it not? But for the 88 pluses, I think for McDavid, it's 100% worth it. And I like the fact that there's 25 days on the timer. So it's not like you're being, selective of like, I have to decide this week if I have to really grind to make this card. You got time to make it. It's not a here and now life or death situation. But let's take a look at how to make one of these MSPs. Say you have interest in making Connor Bedard. It's going to cost you 385 plus Frozen Forces cards, plus 285 plus cards in general. I'm going to break down the easiest way to get that in the video as well, but just keep in mind, hey, this is what we need to do. Keep in mind, we also have different collectible sets. If you go into your dailies in the store, you get 5 collectibles per day. You'll get a daily gift. I highly recommend doing this. Today, unfortunately, there was like 2 jerseys. Wasn't worth it. Yesterday, though, got a power-up icon. Ended up getting Madonna, so that was super nice. And it's 5 collects, so it's kind of a gamble on what you're going to get. But I would just see within the community, like somebody's going to end up being the guinea pig, and you're just going to play off that, if that makes sense. If not, I've been saving my collects because technically, if you look, after I'll hide my head here, but after 6 days, you can get an 85 Frozen Forces. It's untradeable. So I like that because that can go into my sets for making that Bedard, for making one of the other cards. So don't hesitate on not like putting some time and effort into this, of just signing in and collecting your daily rewards. And after 6 days, boom, I got an 85 that can chip away at that, especially since these things last for 1 month. I feel like with just the dailies, you can get pretty close at making McDavid by itself. There's some other packs that are out there. I just didn't want to gamble. That's why I ended up picking that. But that's just me. But the daily gifts, it's not a bad thing. Then you can exchange some 83s. You can exchange some 81 overalls. Don't have to be Frozen Forces to get an 83. Then you can trade in 383 Frozen Forces to get an 85. I'm trying not to get tongue-tied while I do this, but bear with me here, guys. So how can I make some of these MSPs for dirt cheap? Let's walk you through just like I've done in previous videos. So the easiest one is going to be your Hut Moments. It goes extremely quick because these cards are absolutely loaded. The moments for me were all first time goes, no issues here. So you get a random 81, you get some Frozen collectibles. What it breaks down to is from your moments, you get 15 collects, an 83 overall Frozen Forces player, plus 281 overalls in general. Keep in mind, those 81s are going to be big because you can throw them into those sets to make an 83 Frozen Forces player. So keep in mind, any 81s that they're giving you, save them. Save those 81s this week. They do have some value to it. Then in Wildcard, once again, I'm liking the reward system. They're actually giving us some good stuff. If you look at it, I already did the math for you. You get 15 collectibles, plus the final prize is going to be an 85 overall Frozen Forces player. Before that, you do get an 81 overall item. So once again, I try to count all those bad boys as well. But once again, like 15 collects, an 81 overall, plus an 85 Frozen Forces player. Sweet. Like, it's all extremely helpful. Then the last one we look at is the objectives. So for week 1, the big boy is getting your 85 overall Frozen Forces player. Then, just like normal, you have to make your objectives team. You can get 15 collectibles from this one as well. And 83 Frozen Forces. And 83 Frozen Forces, that's B&D, so it can kind of help you out while doing all these challenges. And then the big boy, like I said, is that 85 overall. So I'm trying to do the math all for you here really quick. If you complete those things, which I've done a good chunk of them, and it didn't take that long of a time because like I did moments right away because it gave me some cards that I could use immediately when doing these challenges. But if you hop into Frozen Forces itself, let's go back to that Bedard card and let's review here. It takes 3 85s to make it, along with 2 just 85s in general. If you do your wild card, you're going to get 185 Frozen Forces. If you do your objectives, you get a second one. So that's extremely nice. 2 of them already knocked out. Haven't even had to do anything yet. That's free 99. Haven't paid anything for it yet. Then if you go over to your exchanges, 383 pluses. Well, doing moments, wildcard, and objectives, you get 183 from each one of those things. So that will make you an 85 overall Frozen Forces card right there. Bam. So just like that, I have 3 of the 85s needed, and now I just need 2 other random ones. Well, what did I tell you before? What haven't we used? We haven't used the collectibles yet. So go back over here because we got 45 free collectibles just from doing objectives, wild card, and your moments. So if you go over and you go to this one here for your 85 overall Frozen Forces player, just from getting the 45 collectibles, I can make a free 85. I can either save that for next week or I can use it right here, right now. So if I can build one of those, all I need is 15 collects, and guess what? I get 5 per day. So if the daily, like today's daily gift, wasn't worthwhile, I'm just going to save these and put them off to the side, and after 3 days of it kind of being like an irrelevant 5 cards to throw into the daily gift, then guess what? I'm going to get myself another free 85 that I can throw in. And guess what? I just made a free MSP. Whether you want Bedard, Sider, Reinhardt, Ottinger, Riley, or it gets you 1 out of 2 going towards McDavid. Maybe you wait a week for McDavid because now you can make them for free knowing they're going to release the same thing going into next week. But you don't know what cards are going to be out there. I just like that the fact that they have those sets out there for a lot longer. I know this is a little bit longer of a video, but these cards are absolutely stacked. I'm impressed with what they've done. The card art's immaculate. There's cards that are must make, and that's the first time we've had that. Like, hey, this is a must make card. You have to have this. I think we're finally starting to see that. The other one to take a look at if you haven't seen in the store as well, make sure you go over to the team building section. There should be cards in here. Like, make sure to take a look at it tonight because I don't know how many more days. There should be 2 sets. There's going to be one that's also about 43,000 coins. You get 6 of them. So that's cheaper than making a team builder. They're giving you 6 team builders for essentially 250K. And I have a gut feeling we might see some team builders going into this week. It is a lot of content. I'm extremely pumped. Make sure you subscribe for more content coming out below by myself. And what cards did you make? You know, what cards are you eyeing for? And did this video help you? I'm hoping you don't spend a ton of coins or money or whatever when it comes to making these cards, because just by playing the game, you can get them relatively easy. Other than that, I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day, and we'll see you back here probably midweek next week. Cross fingers, you know, team builders, maybe, who knows? Let's see what happens. Take care, guys.